Coming up on RaiderVision, we take a look at the college process. I'm Claire Russell, and this is RaiderVision. This week is National Kindness Week, and student government is celebrating by highlighting students from different grade levels on social media. The Instagram account Gulliver Students is featuring a series complimenting randomly selected students across all grades. In honor of Black History Month, we will be featuring stories from 3 local journalists. This week, we feature former Channel 10 reporter and anchor Neki Mohan. Here's reporter Hector Torres with more on his interview with Mohan.
Neki Mohan has been a journalist for over 30 years in South Florida. She started in ABC Washington and came to South Florida to work on ABC Channel 10 full-time on camera. Along the way, she had the opportunity to learn from the legendary news anchor Carol Simpson. I had the chance to talk with Neki Mohan about her journey.
Where have you worked?
I've worked at 10 TV stations in 5 cities. I started right out of University of Maryland. I was an intern at CBS for a year at Face the Nation when I was at the University of Maryland. My first job out of college was at ABC News in Washington in 1992, the year Bill Clinton was becoming our president. And then my first full-time on-air television job, because I did like some part-time gigs on like cable stations and stuff to get experience, was in Jackson, Mississippi at the CBS station in 1994.
So you come a long way.
My jobs in places like Jackson, Mississippi and Cleveland, Ohio and Los Angeles and all those other places was that, I got the opportunity to see what the rest of the country looks like, because the country is just not the East and the West Coast. We have a big country. So I think that, now that we're also connected via the internet and social media and cable, being a journalist that can sit and conversationally talk about different parts of the country, having seen it, lived there and been there, we're such a fantastically diverse country. It's just an awesome advantage.
Do you have any inspiration or role models that got you into journalism?
So there's so many people before me that had it so much harder than me. They paved the path for me to get in this industry. Madam C.J. Walker's great-great-great-granddaughter was a producer at ABC News, and she fought for me to get a full-time job there. I mean, even when I started at the network, there was a woman, she was the first Black woman to anchor network news, Carol Simpson. She took me under her wing. There are so many powerful, writers and reporters that I followed along the way. And for young people that want to become journalists, I suggest, now you guys follow people on social and on podcasts, but read the books that are out there.
And we're celebrating Black History Month, so
there's so many different layers to Black history in the United States. And having had the opportunity to work in Jackson, Mississippi, which was a pivotal place in the center of the civil rights movement in the Deep South, it really has been an education for me, and it's always evolving. So that's why I became a journalist. Journalists write the history books of tomorrow, and we get to experience it firsthand.
For RaiderVision, I'm Hector Torres.
Now to Priya with sports.
Thanks, Claire. Congratulations to the varsity boys and girls soccer team for winning the 4A district championship last week against their rivals Key West. On the girls' side, they won with a close score of 1-0. On the boys' side, Gulliver shut Key West down 3-0. Congrats to both teams. The boys and girls water polo team also had 2 big wins against Miami Country Day. The girls won 19-5 with Stanford commit Alyssa Pascual being the leading scorer with 7 goals. The boys won 15-3 with Bailey Quintero scoring 3 goals. Congrats to the girls tennis team for kicking off their season with a 4-3 win over Lawrence. Valentina Rossi, Leah Fletcher, and Tori Hagenlocker winning their singles matches, and the deciding match was won by Leah Fletcher and Mia Suarez in doubles. Now here's the weather.
Temperatures are slowly getting higher, with an average high of 81 degrees, with cool mornings dipping to the mid-70s. Today and tomorrow look to be pretty rainy, so grab your umbrellas and hold on, as winds are strong at an average of 15 miles per hour all week. Thursday and Friday are still windy, but there's no rain. Back to Claire at the desk.
Juniors and seniors have had to deal with the changes to the college application process due to the coronavirus pandemic. Reporter David Haish has more.
Because of COVID, many colleges have changed their application process.
Sarah Compel, a guidance and college counselor, works with students daily to adapt their college application to these new changes.
A lot of colleges have gone test optional, which means they're not requiring a test score this year. Another thing that happened this year was there was a COVID essay that was added to the Common App. So it gives students an opportunity to talk about how COVID impacted or affected their lives.
As standardized testing is now optional for some, many students need to have their applications stand out to get into college.
It's not necessarily, what you've accomplished. It's more of what you can accomplish in terms of potential. I think colleges now are looking more at who you are as a person and what you'll become as a person and who you'll be on their campus versus, what you're doing in high school. Because in all honesty, the things that you do now make up to very little of what you can do in the future.
To err the side of caution, teachers recommend to still take the SAT and ACT.
We are still encouraging all of our students to test because they ultimately do not know where they will end up going to school. And like I mentioned before, especially if they're applying to schools within the state of Florida, they will need those test scores to apply to the schools like University of Florida, Florida State, University of Central Florida, FAU, things like that.
For RaiderVision, I am David Heisch.
That's all for RaiderVision. We'll see you next time.